What's up, everybody? Welcome to Talking Ball. It is Colin, and I'm joined by Chang today. What's up, Chang? How's it going, buddy?
Greetings and salutations, everybody, over here from Southeast Asia. What can I say? What a better time to be alive. What a better time to be a Spurs fan. And if you're tuning in, what can I say? Thank you very much, first and foremost, for even tuning in today. It's shaping up to be a rather fantastic 24 hours, given what's been transpiring in everything that is Tottenham Hotspur related. The incomings have been coming in thick and fast, as well as the outgoings. We'll get through all that. But in the meanwhile, can I just say thank you very much to both Mr. Sievers and also for Senor Garcia for even having me back here. The last month or so has been nothing but absolute fantastic vibes over here at Talk and Ball, and long may they continue.
You're a good man, dude. I really appreciate having you on. You're like the best guest, just because you're knowledgeable, you're excited, you're happy, you're friendly. Honestly, man, you're a natural at this. So thank you for joining me. But yes, I see that we've already got some people in the chat. Oh, my bad. What were you saying, buddy?
No, I was just about to say that right now the feeling's mutual. I couldn't have hoped for a better place to call home here at Talk and Ball, to be able to bounce my ideas off with similar like-minded Spurs fans from all over the globe. I still vividly recall the last time I was on, making my first ever appearance alongside Bobby Kang, and what an experience that was. And it's experiences like this for us Spurs fans over here in Asia, where I must speak very plainly that experiences like this are hard to come by on a daily basis. If you talk about speaking face to face with like-minded fans, so to be able to do just that right here online, especially with you over there in the States, and maybe Ash over in India, Jose over in the UK or in Europe, wherever it may be, as well as anyone else who may join in at any given moment. So absolutely looking forward to getting into it with you the next few hours.
Wonderful. Yeah, exactly. Same here, man. Same here. I couldn't. The feeling is mutual. It's great to have Spurs fans from all over the world have a place to congregate and hang out and have a good time, talk, and be happy together. And what a day to be happy that it is. We are getting rid of one guy. It looks like one particular guy. We're no longer going to see him in a Spurs shirt. So first of all, how does that make you feel, Chang? How do you feel about no more Mr. Eric Dier?
I have to be honest, I'm actually a bit torn between this, because this is the kind of Eric Dier leaving is sort of the kind of departure which makes you feel like be careful what you wish for. You never know what you never know what you've got till it's gone, or in this case, sometimes it's easier to just keep wishing that maybe things are greener on the other side. Maybe life will be a lot better without X, Y, or Z, and suddenly you see them gone, and it leaves a kind of unfamiliar feeling within you that maybe we might have been a bit too harsh on him towards the end of his tenure over at Tottenham Hotspur. But I think it worked out for the best for all of us, for all parties involved. I wish him. He has my blessing to head over on to Bayern Munich. The last 9 years or so of him at the club have been a ride. It's got to be said. And yeah, I mean it's a bit of a check and balance, give and take. Don't get me wrong, he has had some fantastic moments for us in a Spurs shirt as Eric Dier, but I mean, all good things come to an end sooner or later, as they say. We saw that earlier this season, towards the end of preseason, just before the start of the actual league season, where Harry Kane left for Bayern Munich. So, I mean, out with the old, in with the new. where one door closes for Eric Dier going up to Bayern Munich. In comes, drum roll, Radu Drăgușin, which I'm sure we will get into it in detail for later on. But what can I say? Eric Dier, what a servant. Thank you for everything. It's been a pleasure. And I wish you all the very best in your future endeavors over there at Bayern Munich. Colin, I believe you're muted again. Colin, if you can hear me, I believe you're muted again.
I'm not sure how I keep muting myself. Sorry about that. But I was
There we
just gonna
go. There we
yes,
go. All good.
I'm back. Eric Dier, though, he's landed in Germany. We've seen that he's landed. We've seen, the photos. I don't think it'll be long before we see him holding the shirt. Chang, I just wanted to ask you, first of all, let's get through these comments before I forget. I'm really, without Jose here, I'm like just all over the place. But Adrian Stroka's in the house. What is up, Adrian? Big love to Adrian. Big love, Adrian. Thank you for your support as always. And then we've got Chang commenting, yes. About Dragussin Day today, Thursday, January 11th. Love it. Love you, Chang. Big up, dude. Thank you. And then we've got Talking Beer in the house. And he says, if I can hit the like on both channels, you can too. And that's a good time for me to say we are dual streaming on this channel as well as Cockroach, Jose's personal channel. So let me get that link up for you guys. Boom. So that is at the bottom here. If you want to subscribe, and you should subscribe to Jose's channel, there it is right there. youtube.com/@LTelCockerel. So make sure you've liked and subscribed on both channels. We're dual streaming. It's a lot of fun. Make sure you get it in there. What is up, Ian? Hope you're doing well, my man. Hope you're doing well. He's not surprised by Big Ange doing well. He's not surprised. He's been watching Big Ange for years at Celtic. Ian, big up. Good to have you. And then we've got Cosmic Sean in the house. He says, big up, Call and Chang. Big up. Back to you, Sean. We got to talk later today, man. Miss ya. And then Talking Beer says, Chang, you absolute legend. What is your native language?
So over here in Malaysia, you could say that the native language here for this country is Malay. Although I am still 100% Chinese, both my parents are of Cantonese heritage from the states or the district of Canton back in mainland China. So you could say that my native language should be Cantonese, as what is commonly spoken over there in Hong Kong and Macau, the Cantonese language. Or if you've ever seen any of the Jackie Chan's movies from the 80s or 90s, that's my mother tongue, you could say, on top of Mandarin, which is also the native language over there in China. But given my upbringing, my education, my background, I might as well be an American-born Chinese.
You're it sounds like you're multilingual, man. I'm jealous. I wish I was multilingual. All I can speak is white trash English from these states, but we do our best. We do what we can do. But Chang, again, super blessed to have you here. Thanks, brother. We got Quez in the house. Quez Ali, what's up, Quez? And then Cosmic Sean says that La Familia loves Chang. So yes. Big love. I love all the love in the chat right now, everybody. Yes, and Talking Beer, speaking nothing but truth, Chang says, boom. We get to Ian. Ian has a good comment here. He says, one of the worst traits of Spurs fans is once they get a player in their sights, it usually gets ugly. But that said, Dier is one we had to upgrade, and we have. Dier should have stayed in midfield. That's a good point. Do you think that Dier would have had a more successful career if he had stayed as that defensive midfield player that he was kind of under Pochettino? Or do you think that, that's a tough one to answer. I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but he did well in that midfield role. You know what I mean? I would be interested to see like the alternate timeline where we get to see him having stayed in midfield instead of, demanding to be a central defender. I think things could have been a lot different for him.
Again, I think this is where I feel that certain players deployed in their unnatural, or rather their unfamiliar positions, as it were, after they have been, so to speak, like brought up to play this way under maybe their first manager at a new club, but then they've had difficulties in trying to adapt and manage through all these different other positions after the original manager that they first started under has since long gone to greener pastures. So in Eric Dier's defense, I thought he did rather decent. He did very well under Pochettino, and once Jose Mourinho, that is, once he came along, he was still doing rather well with him. But towards the end, you sort of saw his performance in the defensive role sort of like get the better of him when there were far better options in centre back to deputize in that role instead of Dier, and things just turned very ugly for me. Anyway, the moment Nuno took over, and the worst of it came under Conte. That being said, I think looking back, yes, you could say that Eric Dier's best position was in the midfield role, especially the defensive midfield role that he was generally stationed at under Pochettino. But given everything that he's been through over at Spurs, I would say he's rather versatile, and that he would be of tremendous asset. He is a tremendous asset to whichever club he will be playing with, even if it's not Bayern Munich in a few seasons time to come. Still is very versatile, given his skill set as well as his language, his mastery of languages, be it
That's
English
very true.
or
That's
even,
a really good point.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I really can't thank him enough for his services to the club past couple of seasons. Ever since that glorious away debut at West Ham, that last gasp winner, we'll always remember him for that. He will forever be remembered for that.
You mean his first match against that was against West? Wait, who were we playing?
It was West Ham away, as I recall.
That's what I thought as well. And he was playing at the left, he was playing right back, but somehow he ended up on the left side, and I can remember that goal perfectly. Yeah, he was meandering. He was very, very far from his spot, but good. I'm glad he was. Yeah, that was what a way to debut yourself to the fans. You know what I mean? Score the winner late on your first match. I mean, yeah, Eric Dier. It's been a fun ride with Eric Dier. Even when he ran into the stands to defend his brother. I don't know. I like the guy. I feel like he was one of the last he was kind of the hard man on our team. We didn't have like a Roy Keane or like anybody like that, but the closest that we had was Eric Dier. And I feel like when people got in trouble, Eric Dier was there to help. I feel like he was always. I don't know. I think he'll do good at Bayern. I think people will be surprised at how well he does at Bayern, but. Can we just say, Chang, what a 24 hours or so it's been in terms of roller coaster ride for us fans? Like, first we hear, Dier to Germany. That's the first rumor we hear, and everybody's excited, but it's hard to believe. Then we hear, oh no, Bayern have put in a bid for Drăgușin. Drăgușin's definitely going to Bayern. Why would he stay at Spurs? And then 24 hours later, Drăgușin signing for Spurs. Bayern have paid money for Eric Dier when they could have gotten him on a free if they had just waited until the summer. I just want to say it's tough. It's tough being a Spurs fan, and I understand that Spurs fans have been burned many times. So I put this kind of as like a little joke here. I said, wait, so Drăgușin is coming? Bayern didn't beat us to a signing? Oh, and they're signing Dier? Yes, and I can't believe it. So do you think that it was a I don't know, that's a hell of a downgrade. I'll just say that to go from, hey, we're getting Drăgușin to be like, oh, hey, actually we're getting Dier. Did Bayern have any genuine interest? I can't figure out if Bayern had any genuine interest in Drăgușin or if they were just trying to give us some trouble, just trying to make things difficult for us. I don't know. What do you think, Chang?
I've had some reservations actually with Bayern's approach. Let me just say that I don't know. I mean, at the beginning when I heard that we had all but wrapped up the Drăgușin deal, only for Bayern to come in last minute and try to gazump the deal. kind of in a similar manner, the way we beat Everton out to the loan signing of Danjuma barely 12 months earlier, last January. So I thought that, you know what, this may be karma for us, getting one over Everton when we swooped in for Danjuma. And I was thinking to myself, Bayern wouldn't have had terms agreed and a fee accepted by Genoa if they didn't have concrete interest in the play at all.
Fair,
let alone getting their hopes up that they would see it through, because they're thinking, hey, we are Bayern Munich, we are Champions League regulars almost every single season, regardless of who else from Germany is joining them in that competition. And Bayern Munich are known to pretty much just walk their way towards a Bundesliga title almost every other year or almost every year, given their historical record. So with that in mind, you could see why Harry Kane wanted to join them in the first place. And with their historic nature in European competitions, it's not hard to see why anyone wouldn't want to be joining them. If you would cast your mind back to one particular season, they won every single available match that they partook in that Champions League campaign, where it was flawless for them. They pretty much, I think they won every single match that they had in the competition.
What year did they win did they won the Champions League that year? Wow.
They won the Champions League that year, and not only did they win it, they won it with absolute panache. Talk about a flawless victory. That was 100% record to be able to win every single match in the knockout stages, in the group stages, en route to the final, which I think they won by a single solitary goal. It could have been a Sadio Mane, no, not Sadio Mane goal. It could have been a Leroy Sané goal in the final. I can't be too sure, but
that sounds right. I do have vague memories of that. What year was that? Do you know, ish?
Someone can correct me in the chat, but it could be somewhere just after COVID. I have a suspicion it was 2021, or is it 2020, towards the tail end of 2020?
It looks like it was, so Kingsley Coman is the one that scored that goal.
So Coman, all right, okay, Kingsley Coman, all right, so it's one of them.
No, wait, hold on. No, I might be wrong here. Everybody in the chat, what year did Bayern win the Champions League? They haven't won for a while. Anyway, someone in the chat
for the past 2 seasons, yes. Pretty much someone in the chat will let us know about it, but I'm pretty sure they are more interested to find out all things Tottenham Hotspur related, given what a whirlwind 24 hours it must have been for anyone.
What a day! Yes, exactly.
I mean, for me, I was just dreading the day. I woke up so early. I did see that early morning show you put on. For me, it was early morning anyway. The show that you did with Senor Garcia, some 24 hours early, I believe it was. Now on that fateful Thursday morning, it was shaping up to be such a beautiful morning, and I was just dreading what the news might be from Fabrizio Mano if he just gives the "here we go." Radu Drăgușin hijacked at the last possible moment by Bayern Munich, and they finally get one over Spurs for dragging our heels all over the Harry Kane deal, and it's back to square one for us in our pursuit of another centre back to fill in for the departing Eric Dier, and sideline. I'm not sure how long it's going to be out, but get well soon, Ben Davies. Although the reports coming out from Paul O'Keefe that's doing the rounds on oh my goodness, I'm suddenly drawing a blank. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Twitter, and the chat is going to slaughter me for suddenly drawing a blank on his name now at midnight.
Fabrizio Romano?
No. Wait. It's our Argentine centre back. Hang on. Romero. Christian Romero. Oh my goodness.
No worries, dude. Yeah.
Christian Romero, he's due back for for full first team training with the squad, and he's going to put himself in contention to start alongside Mickey van der Ven away against Manchester United at Old Trafford. And I simply cannot wait. I mean, I honestly cannot wait for that tie. That tie seriously couldn't come soon enough. Will we see Timo Werner at some point? Will we even see Radu Drăgușin make the team sheet for that fateful day? I simply cannot wait for that. Even just for the starting lineup itself, I simply cannot wait for that starting first 11 and the bench to be announced 1 hour before kickoff.
It's always exciting when you don't know what this what the team sheet is going to say. Like, we have no idea. There's so many different permutations of what could be, what lineup we could come out with. And yeah, I'm just as excited as you, man. And another thing I like is that it seems like Romero's injury, it seems like the recovery sped up whenever he learned we were signing Drăgușin. It's almost like the competition aspect of it got to him, and he was like, oh shit, like I got to get back in there or this guy's going to take my spot. And I love that. That's exactly what we need, because for the longest time, Romero's been a shoo-in. He's been, on the team sheet if he's fit. Now we have another defender that can challenge him, that can, that can actually, I don't know, I got to turn that music down. It's a little wild, but it's some good stuff. It's a good day. I figured we'd get some, high octane music going, but yeah, I mean, I do you think? I'll ask you. Do you think that this newfound kind of sense of, I mean, we've got more competition. That's always a good thing, right, Chang? Competition for spots, starting spots.
Of course. Without that goes without saying, because for the longest time, especially if you look at our, I'm just going to say this about our striking options, or rather our forward options, in seasons past, where Harry Kane is almost one of the very first names on the team sheet, regardless of whether or not he's fully fit or not. If you look at his
final, anybody?
Yeah, since ever since he's been a one-season wonder, you just have to look at Harry Kane
I forgot all about people calling him a one-season wonder. Jesus, that was funny stuff. But
that for me now when you reflect upon all this, when after he's done his business, he's broken all these national records, club records. He's now doing crazy numbers over there abroad in Germany. And yeah, when you talk about competition and how Spurs have severely lacked that competitive edge we've been hoping for in all departments, not just our forward department or defensive backline, or even our midfield, the midfield department, where suddenly now when you see the likes of Bentancur, he's back, Pape Matassa and Bissouma soon to be back from AFCON. We wish them all the best, and we hope they come back and scathe from the international duties, as well as James Maddison, of all people, who is looking to be back in first team full training contention as early as next week. I mean, you look at what we have right now in midfield. We still have Højbjerg in our books. We still have Oliver Skip on our books. We have Kulusevski, who can deputize. He can deputize in midfield if given the chance to do so by Big Ange. So yeah. I mean, you look at it; it's competition for all spots, even in wing back, up front right now with Timo Werner. What an inclusion that is! What a signing! Although
I feel like people are sleeping on him. Yeah, exactly. It's a better signing than people are giving it credit for, I think.
Honestly, right now, looking at how Big Ange has just been getting a tune out of all these players that he has been bringing in ever since he brought in Alejo Valise, and also what's his name now? Oh my goodness, I'm drawing another blank here. One of our earlier signings this season, that is not Vicario, not Udogi.
Sorry, I missed the beginning of that. I was Googling. What'd you say?
Which other signing did we bring in after Alejo Valise? There was one other signing that we brought in after Alejo Valise. It's not Brennan Johnson. And it's not Vicario.
And it's not
which
that
I
young. And
felt
it's not that young 16-year-old defender. That's not who you're speaking about, is it?
it's definitely not Luka Vuskovic. Luka Vuskovic has, I believe, is still out on loan back in Croatia.
Until
But
2025, I think. Yeah.
yeah, for a good 2 or 3 years. So we're not going to see the likes of him. I suspect we are going to
Oh,
see.
hey, what about
Elfie
Manor
Divine.
Solomon? Is it Manor Solomon that you're speaking about?
Yes, that's the one exactly. Our loan, our free agent, the free agent signing
saved him
Fulham,
from Russia or whatever.
from Shakhtar Donetsk. Yeah, from
Yeah.
Ukraine actually, from Shakhtar Donetsk. Because I did cast my mind back to that last friendly in which Harry Kane played for us. That was the very same team that Shakhtar Donetsk gave. Well, they didn't exactly give Solomon to us, but Solomon came from them, and he had this wonderful. Yeah, he had this great loan season out at Fulham, which showed that he really is. There is another player there, and he's soon to return for us as well. So that's another option returning for us. I mean, when he comes back, he's going to be like a new signing. I mean, it's kind of cliche to say this about players coming back from long-term injuries or from long-term international duties or wherever they may be from after their long absence from the first team. But he is going to be akin to a brand new signing for us once he comes back. And you look at the options that we have: Solomon coming back, James Maddison coming back, Romero soon to be fit, and then we have our international players. Let's not forget that the likes of Son Heung-min. Hope he also comes back injury-free from the Asian Cup, and as well as our AFCON players. I mean, what a time it is to be a Spurs fan, and I really can't see any other new signings or any other further signings for us for the remainder of this January transfer window. Although I wouldn't put it past Paratici and Levy and I believe it's Lang, if I'm getting his name correct. Lang, our sporting director, if they have any other signings lined up for us.
I bet you there's another defender.
What a time to be a Spurs fan. If it is to be another defender,
you want Lloyd Kelly. I know you want Lloyd Kelly. I know it.
I was about to allude to that because we have. I mean, to me, Drăgușin is a marquee signing. Let's not get in over ourselves. Drăgușin himself is a marquee signing for us over in centre back. Only 21 years of age. I'm hearing things coming out from a lot of media outlets saying that he is going to be considered under 21 when he does sign for us, which will be a very good asset to have if he is registered as an under 21 by Friday tomorrow. So, I mean, there are still places up for grabs if you're to look at possible incomings between now until the end of January. Although I wouldn't be surprised if you were to go in for another midfielder if there are any concrete interests in the likes of Conor Gallagher that is doing the rounds, as well as some other youth players, I believe, in the under 21s and under 18s that are also being touted to us. Their names escape me for the time being, but there are promising youngsters that are being looked at, of course, by our scouting department. I'm sure.
Why can't I think if we've got some people in the chat that know a fair bit about the youth. So if anybody in the chat knows about any of the young players we're looking for, if we've got any of our resident scouts in the house, let us know about those young players we're looking at. And I did not mean to cut you off, Chang. That was bad of me. Sorry about that. But look at this lovely comment from Manny. I don't know who Manny is. Manny, it's nice to see you. But Manny says, love the tip-top Tottenham tops you are both wearing. Classy. Hey, love you, Manny. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the channel. Really, it's nothing without all you guys. So thank you so much. And yeah, got to show it off, baby. We both got the Holston top on today. Loving it. And then we've also got some people that came in while we were talking. We've got, of course, Audio Artisan is here saying, afternoon, chaps. What is up, my guy? Then we've got Manny, of course. Tot Spurs, our resident mod. Very nice to have you, my man. Yeah, it's a nice packed house. And look at this comment. This comment is perfect because it brings up what I wanted to talk about next. Daniel E said, needed some good news to cheer me up. Still not feeling great. I will admit that Levy deserves a bit of praise for Dier going to Bayern. My next question I was going to ask was, and this is kind of a loaded question, and I know it's going to get me in trouble, okay? But who deserves the praise for these moves? So everybody was mad at Levy, saying that Levy, cocked it up and messed up our option to, to get Drăgușin, and he waited too long, and we waited a day too long, or haggling over $5 million or whatever, and that it wasn't going to happen. And then so everybody's mad at Levy. Then the deal goes through, and we get Dier to Bayern, and we still don't hear. Well, and Daniel was awesome and said that Levy deserves a bit of praise. Well, I don't hear. It's funny. You just hear all the anger at him for things that he supposedly is doing incorrectly, even though none of us have ever been a football chairman in our lives. And then, you know what I mean? He does something good, or the people that he appointed did something good, and we don't really hear much praise. It's just like you got to give praise where praise are due. I'm definitely not a Levy fan, but he got this one right. And we have to. I think it's only fair if we're going to dog on him when he's doing something wrong. We both have to. We have to also be kind to him whenever he's doing something good. So I don't know.
Yeah,
what do you think, Chang?
absolutely.
Levy deserves any
absolutely. I think Levy deserves a lot of credit for this. I mean, as what you alluded to, credit where credit is due. Levy pulled this one out of the bag, although it was a bit of touch and go right there with his regular brinksmanship. I call this his brinksmanship when it comes to getting deals over the line.
Haggling over that last little bit.
Yeah, that few million that has more often than not, it's become our undoing for past transfers that have just absolutely just fallen right through and slipped right through our fingers in years gone past. I mean, when you hear Bayern Munich coming in with a concrete offer and they have accepted terms with the player, they have had transfer bid accepted by Genoa, and once you hear things like, oh, it's down to the player now to decide on where he's going to end up in the coming days, now that he's had concrete offers from both camps or from these two different clubs, you just fear the worst. But credit where the credit is due. I'm hearing reports that Daniel Levy did work overnight. He did work overnight until 2-3 a.m. the following morning. That's what I'm hearing from people like Alice Dago and Ricky Sachs over there at Last Word on Spurs, as well as a few of these other aggregators saying that we somehow managed to then increase our bid, or we improved our offer for Genoa upon hearing that Bayern Munich had come in with an accepted bid. We then upped our game.
Ian says that we paid 25 million euros plus 5 million euros in add-ons plus spends for 6 months, Spurs paying wages. I think that's an amazing deal. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful deal. But yeah, back to what you were saying about those guys, staying up all night. It was Levy and his team. It was the team of people he put together. I think that Scott Munn was there. But yes, everybody, please go sub to Chang and Eugene at Spurswasion TV. There is the link right there. Wonderful channel, bringing together Spurs fans from all over that part of the world and all parts of the world. I'm on there sometimes. They let me on, even though I'm not, from their part of the world. So thank you guys. Big love. Always a good time over on Eugene's channel. And as Eugene would want me to say, Levy out. He would need us to say that right now. So that's for you, Eugene. And then Manny says, thanks. Yeah, of course, Manny. Thank you for being here. Honestly, it means a lot. It's good vibes. We try to keep it pretty chill, pretty fun over here. And today's just a fun day. I don't really have a lot planned except for talking about this signing. But Dan says he's currently not feeling well at the moment. So hey, we hope you get better soon, Dan. Sorry about that, man. being sick is the worst, and there's just some shit going around. So please take care of yourself, man. Take all the medicine, do all the right stuff. Don't push yourself, and get back to full fitness soon. But he says, but when Levy gets rid of Deadwood and Dier and manages to pull in players like Drăgușin, then he deserves credit for when it works in his way, and that's true. And I just wanted to say that. I just wanted him to, we're all just so quick to jump on Levy's back. Oh, this transfer should have been done 2 days ago. Oh, this transfer only, and it's like, we're not there. We're not privy to any of these conversations. So anyway, I think thank you, Levy, for this one. Keep it up. Please don't, please just keep backing Ange and I'll be happy with you. Yeah. That's basically it. I have a question too. I put this up here, but I changed it because we got that question from our good man Daniel E. But real quick, on the Werner, on the subject of Werner, how many goals do you expect from him this season?
Okay, to be very realistic, this is actually quite a very subjective question because it all depends on just how frequently Timo Werner is going to be deployed by Big Ange in his loan season with us. Although I wouldn't put it past him to be at the very least half a dozen goals between now until the end of the season. Given how our league games are going to be coming up thick and fast, as well as what is going to be a very, very crunch tie at home in our upcoming 4th round FA Cup game against Manchester City. That is definitely one to look forward to at the end of the month. I believe it's the last weekend of January, later this month, the FA Cup 4th round tie at the new stadium. I cannot wait for that to come around. Although, in hindsight, looking at all these players now away at international duty, as well as some of our returning players, I would definitely like to delay that tie as long as possible. Hopefully, we will get the last berth, or rather the last time slot available for that match week, the FA Cup 4th round match week on that last weekend of January. If it is to be what is going to be the FA Cup equivalent of a Super Sunday or even a Monday Night Football, to put it as a sort of a showcase showdown for the FA Cup 4th round. So I hope that gives sufficient time for the likes of Timo Werner and Radu Drăgușin to fully integrate with the team, and the upcoming weekend match away at Old Trafford will be a good indicator and a benchmark as to just how ready the rest of the squad are in taking part in our competitive fixtures in the next few coming weeks. I'm not expecting too much really. Honestly,
I'm expecting more than you.
Timo Werner is going to be scoring.
Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, now that he has signed, and there is an air of expectancy. Put it this way: now that we have Timo Werner, and again, like I said, it's down to just how Big Ange is going to deploy him, and how many games are we going to get out of him in his loan season here. Although he has my full backing, and I really am expecting big things from Werner, seeing as how Richarlison is still blowing hot and cold. Exactly. Although Richarlison, I really still feel there is a player in Richarlison. Although now that Son Heung-min is off away in the Asian Cup, and Brennan Johnson has still to find his goal scoring form, a lot of things are going to be expected from Timo Werner from between now to the end of the season. And I think half a dozen goals is a realistic target, although I wouldn't put it past Timo Werner to even score double figures for us if he really is that prolific, as Big Ange is hoping for him to be for us. So
I'm saying 12. I'm saying 12 goals, Chang. I honestly think he'll get a dozen in the second half of the season. I think that in time we'll probably see him move in and take Richarlison's spot. I honestly think that he's going to end up being much better and much more prolific and much more clinical. I just think Richarlison's a good player, but he is just not clinical. And I really wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of games' time we see Werner. I think he'll come off the bench, at first, as a new player would. And then I think he'll start getting starts once he impresses off the bench. And I think that, honestly, he'll take Richarlison's spot. I really do. It's...
Yeah, you bring up a good point there, because I feel like for Richarlison, for me personally, Richarlison, I feel the jury is still out there as to whether or not he is if he is a big time player for us, and if he really does suit Big Ange's Ange ball system. Although now with Timo Werner coming in, there is that flexibility, there is that sort of rotation for our centre forward role that we've not had for a good long while now. Don't get me wrong, I'm still backing Alejo Willis to come good in future for us at some point. But right now it's just Richarlison. Sure. Yeah, it's just Richarlison and Timo Werner. So it's a toss-up between the two of them to bang in the goals, and simply cannot wait for Timo Werner to put on Lily fight and play for us in the league or even the FA Cup. Here's to them both, Richarlison and Timo Werner.
Yeah, and honestly, they could be in the same lineup. I mean, you could play Son, Werner, and Richarlison all across the front three, and I think that would work really well. Those are all players that can kind of interchange their positions and play in all of those positions. I think it works out really well. In the chat, guys, we got Bobby K saying big up Colin Chang and everyone in the chat. Big up Bobby K. Yeah, big up Bobby K, dude. It's good to see you, man. Hope you're well. And looking like we're getting Dragusin. Daniel E, though, says that if he keeps setting these standards, Levy, every window actually improving our team and getting rid of the dead wood, then he'll start moaning less. And hey, man, that's totally fair. I also have, and I agree. I think everybody would moan less. But I wanted to also bring up this comment that I starred from Totspurs. It's a question for us both, and it's who would you like to see? Hold on one second. It's who would you like to see brought in the midfield? Someone that's been in the media or not? Do you have a midfield player that you have in mind that you would like to pull in, Chang?
That's a very good question here. Right now, honestly, in midfield, I can't see another marquee signing coming in for us in midfield. Although I would very much welcome Conor Gallagher, depending on how Chelsea deal with his contract expiry, or rather his contract signing. Whether it's going to be tied down long term or not by Chelsea, that remains to be seen. But in our midfield, honestly, unless we see some movement going out that in midfield as well with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg or even Oliver Skip or anyone else who feel they might be departing anytime soon, I actually have no complaints in the midfield department. We still have James Maddison returning. Bentancur is fully fit now. We still have Pape Matassa and Bissouma to come back from their AFCON. Like I said, Oliver Skip is there. We also, who I'm really looking forward to seeing at some point. On top of having Jamie Donnelly as well. We still have Jamie Donnelly as well as a few other academy players who I'm sure Big Ange is going to have a good look at in months to come before the next season. So as far as midfield is concerned, I believe we're pretty well stacked in that department. Although whoever Big Ange fancies to bring in, he has. Yeah. I mean, honestly, right now, after seeing what Big Ange has given his blessings to the incomings of Drăgușin and also Timo Werner, whoever Big Ange fancies in whichever department he feels needs bolstering in that particular department, all of us Spurs fans are just going to give our full support to whomever and whoever we bring in, regardless of their age, their demographic, their nationality, the positions in which they're going to be deployed, if and when they are signed. So yeah, like I said, whoever Big Ange brings in, we are so looking forward to whoever this person is they're going to bring in, and we cannot wait for them. We cannot wait to see them put on lily white and play for us in whatever competition they're going to be deployed in.
100%. And if I can answer that question too, I would say we're in a lot better spot in midfield now, because like my boy Chang alluded to, Kulu can play there. We've seen Kulu now step into the midfield and do a great job. And so I feel like with Kulu, we've got another midfielder, so we can and then with Werner, we've got another attacking player. So it's allowing us to have different lineups. It's allowing us to put out different permutations of what the team could look like. And so I don't know if we need another midfielder. Conor Gallagher would be sweet. Conor Gallagher would be an awesome player. Like everybody's saying though, him being the captain or captaining a lot of matches for Chelsea, being like a Chelsea boy, I don't really know if he's going to want to leave. But I would definitely welcome him, especially if Højbjerg leaves. And I think somebody else in the chat said that as well. Let me go through some more of the chat here. We've got, of course, Ian Meth. Ian Meth says that Levy out is actually really inappropriate whilst he's doing this good work, and there's no alternative ownership model. And I agree with that 100%. I don't want us owned by some guy that's rich for some nefarious reasons. You know what I mean? And I know we kind of maybe are right now, but I don't want it to be any worse than it already is. I know Joe Lewis didn't really make his money by being a great guy. We've got some people saying, hey, we've got somebody that I have never met before. Hi there very much. I wish that I knew how to pronounce your name exactly perfect, but do you want to give that a try, Chang? Do you want to try to help me pronounce this?
Kokila Modi. I would say her name is Kokila Modi. She looks...
Kokila, it's very nice to meet you. Thank you for your help.
Rade Bobby Baya. I believe that's what she's trying to say in I believe this could be Tamil. This sounds it could be Hindi as well. I can't
I bet you it is because she's talking to Bobby. So maybe it's Punjabi.
She is.
Yeah. But I'm behind on these. Sorry about that, everybody. But man, he says that Warner's got a lot to give and a lot to prove. It's an opportunity for him, and I think he will take it. Tottenham have a very good manager. He gets the best out of players. I want to put him back up there, guys. Timo Werner is a Tottenham player. It's just crazy for me to think about. But hi, Kokila. Sorry, I pronounced your name incorrectly again. I'm so bad. But very nice to have you here. We really appreciate it. We've also got Audio Artisan there to say, and if Pierre goes, then maybe Calvin Phillips on loan. I hadn't even really thought of that. Calvin Phillips was such a high-profile target that I feel like City worked so hard to get. Would they let him go? Chang, I don't think they would. I don't think they'd let him go.
Honestly, at this juncture, right now at this stage, if you're talking about high-profile signings, whether it's Conor Gallagher or even Calvin Phillips, as what some people are alluding to, I would rather just get someone more along the lines of a Job Bellingham. I know his name hasn't been brought up recently, but Job Bellingham is actually someone which I would rather fancy, given his growth trajectory, and also his the stage of his development right now over at Sunderland. I mean, Calvin Phillips on loan is something that we could entertain, given how we have Timo Werner on loan now, and as how I mentioned that we are already currently stacked, and I wouldn't really say filled to the brim, but there are quite a lot of options to work around with over there in midfield. So maybe bringing in another permanent signing might not be the best idea unless it is a guaranteed first team player that can just walk into the team the way we're expecting Drăgușin and Timo Werner to start in our upcoming league games. So yeah, if it is a midfielder coming in, and if it is someone who's like I just mentioned, who's just going to walk into the starting 11, it has to be at least someone along the lines of Calvin Phillips or Conor Gallagher. But I mean, if we do get a Joe Bellingham or any of the other up and coming
Jude Bellingham
promising
would be
youngsters,
amazing, man. Yeah.
yeah, Joe Bellingham would be amazing business for us, given how well his brother Jude is doing over in Real Madrid. And yeah, I mean, let's just face it. Big Ange. I mean, if you read the interviews, if you have been hearing all this talk coming out from the different camps, from the Timo Werner camp, the Drăgușin camp, and also our summer signings, the way everyone is heaping high praise upon Big Ange and his management style, his influence, the way he really gets into you one-on-one before match day or before kickoff, how he's really trying to bring this family togetherness, this kind of brotherhood amongst the team, amongst the squad come match day, and how he really just nurtures the players and really take full responsibility. This is the one thing that I just simply cannot get enough of, because if the players do cock up or if they do screw up on the pitch, Big Ange was just going to put a shoulder on them and just come out in the press conference saying, you know what, if the players mess up, it's my responsibility, it's my fault, or rather it's fully down to me for deploying these players in the position that I fielded them in. And if there are any shortcomings, if there are any misgivings to them, these players, underperforming in their roles that I gave them before kickoff, then it's all down to me. I take full responsibility for the abject performance that they put up. But hey, I mean, we all learn, and I feel that he's been giving ample time to his players to get to know the Ange ball system. He's really had a good half a season now to take a look at pretty much every single squad player that we have. And I simply cannot get enough of Ange ball. And long may we see Big Ange in our managerial dugouts for many seasons.
Let's extend that 4-year contract. Let's get him to sign a new one, man. I'm down for Ange ball until one of us dies, either me or him. We'll go Ange ball forever. But guys, Jose, our lovely co-host that's usually here, has put a comment in and has put a question in for us. Very good question. And you were part of this, Shang, so you'll be able to answer this with me. But remember when we did the crystal ball gazing, we looked into the future. It was around Christmas time, and we asked, what we were expecting, what we would be happy with. So here's Jose's question. As we're on the 11th of January, are you happy? Remember what we thought when we were crystal ball gazing at Christmas? What do you think? Are we in a better spot than you imagined? Worse spot? Are you happy with where we are? About what you expected? How do you feel about the current state of affairs?
Currently, right now, I'm completely over the moon with the loan signings of Timo Werner and also the permanent signing of Radu Drăgușin. On my first ever debut on Talk and Ball, where I came on with you and Senor Garcia and Ian Meth, and also I think it was Ash as well. I was on with Ash as well.
Yeah, that was a big
debut show.
Big group.
That was a big deal for me, being on that debut show and being able to give my predictions for our January transfer window, as well as I believe it was my predictions for our player of the season, our current player of the season as well. And I so vividly recall just being content. I was just being so confident that we would be able to get Lloyd Kelly from Bournemouth over the line. Although looking back right now, that might be a bit of a kind of maybe underwhelming incoming, given how we've gone in pursuit of Drăgușin and landed him. But it's not the end of the transfer window yet. Although I really can't see us getting a Jean-Claire Todibo from France, given how they are up there challenging Paris Saint-Germain for the French league title. So
True,
I mean, we can dream. All of us, we can dream. We can really think towards the sky's the limit now that we have Drăgușin and how
And
we've
players
managed to
coming
one
back.
up Bayern Munich. Yeah, players coming back. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Players coming back. Romero, if he is fully fit and partaking in our first team training from today till match day away at Old Trafford, that's really one to look forward to. Get well soon, Ben Davies. He really has been a very, very loyal servant to the club, and he's been an absolute no-nonsense professional. When called upon, he has really put in a shift. He is, for me, the absolute model professional when it comes to really putting in a shift when called upon by Big Ange, and also all the other former managers that we've had down the line, from Pochettino to Jose to Nuno, down to Conte, as well as Ryan Mason, in the days that he's had to be our caretaker manager. So yeah, we have all these other players coming back from the injuries, and oh wow, what a last 31 days, or what a last couple of weeks it's been since Christmas up to now. When you look back at the last fortnight or so, leading up to what has been a very momentous 24 hours since the Timo Werner confirmation, then the whole Drăgușin saga, and then we've been treated as well to the possibility of Jack Spence going out on loan with an option to buy by Genoa, and then right now we have the Here We Go by Fabrizio Romano on Eric Dier, and I have seen these comments making the rounds on social media as to how Eric Dier's agent should be knighted for even getting a few million quid out of us shipping Eric Dier out and getting a fee from him when he could have just
have gone for free.
Gone out on a free. Yeah, he could have easily gone for free, but we somehow or rather managed to get a fee from him, out of him, and I honestly feel that his agent has been doing wonders for us and for him.
He must have been.
Yeah.
I think Kane had something
really
to do with
came
it
out the
too.
blue.
I think Kane probably pushed for it, to be honest. Had to have, right? You were saying before that Kane needs an English-speaking friend out there, and it looks like he got it.
Correct,
It looks like
exactly.
he got it. So
Yeah, exactly right.
Whatever the reason, I'm glad that he's left and opened up that spot in the squad. We've got a player in to replace him. I mean, things are looking good. But looking back, to our question that we asked in December, is this January window going like you expected? So you said you don't expect any more incoming players, right? Is that correct? And if not,
I
would you
would be very
happy?
happy if the transfer window shuts today. Oh, of course. I mentioned earlier, I am so over the moon right now. Am I? Yeah, I'm still on. Okay. I'm completely over the moon. This January transfer window has gone swimmingly well. We must remember that it's only January 11th today, and we've already had 2 confirmed signings yesterday on January the 10th. It's only 1/3. We're only 1/3 into the January transfer window, and we really have our top priority signings up front with Timo Werner, as well as a centre back in the form of Radu Drăgușin. So, hey, come on! If you look at the stats, I believe the last time we actually did such early business in the January transfer window was back in 2007 or 2008.
Jesus. I wasn't sure it was that long ago. Wow.
Yeah, it was I believe 2007. This guy from South Africa, I believe, Bongani Kumalo.
Oh my God, I
Kumalo
remember him. That was the weirdest signing in the whole world. That guy didn't hardly play a minute. I don't even know if he did.
He was our last early January transfer. This was
Wow,
back in the
Kumalo. That is
Bongani
a
Kumalo.
blast
Yeah,
of the past. Yeah.
this was, I believe this was during Harry Redknapp's time. It wasn't we. No, sorry. Was it Martin Yol or Redknapp? I can't remember. Oh, there he is. There is Senor Garcia. Welcome, Senor. Welcome, good sir, to the show. So good to have you right now. We are just only getting into our last early January transfer signing. If you can remember that far back, when was our last early January transfer signing? So yeah, I believe it was Bongani Kumalo, although I believe someone in the chat is going to be correcting me right now if there was anyone
They'll be
even
fact
earlier than
checking for
him.
sure. Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
there will be fact checking for sure. But honestly, given how I saw those reports coming out from Munich and Germany saying that, Bayern Munich have stolen a match over us into landing Drăgușin, I was thinking, oh my God, it's gonna be Luis Saha and Ryan Nelson all over again on the last and final day of the January transfer window. If it even comes to that, to getting the likes of Luis Saha and Ryan Nelson on deadline day of January. But I mean, what can I say? Credit where credit is due. Levy has got his signings as early as the 10th of January. And I really cannot wait to see both our January transfer signings in action. And I'm also curious to get your thoughts on this, Senor Garcia, as to how early you feel, just how soon you think both Werner and Drăgușin are going to slot right into Big Ange's Ange ball system, and whether either of them are in contention to start away at Old Trafford this weekend.
So, first of all, good afternoon, everyone.
Hey, buddy. I saw you bring yourself in, and then you popped out, and I didn't know if it was an accident, so I brought you in.
No. I brought myself, and I stayed in the background because you two were talking non-stop, and I didn't want to disturb you. Then I threw in a question, which you began to answer, and all of a sudden, you've gone from one question that was here, and you're answering something that was over there, and now I'm just still waiting to hear an answer to my question.
Well,
so,
shoot.
I mean, I've got a show tonight at 10 o'clock, so I don't really want to say much because I want to save it for content for the show later. But today is January the 11th.
Yeah, here's your question again, too.
Yeah, so today is January the 11th. All I'm asking is you two and a lot of the people that are in the chat, they saw the shows that we did for the week leading up to Christmas, where we asked the panels that we had from Monday to Friday of that week. We asked everybody the same questions from Monday to Friday. And obviously Colin and I gave our input on the Friday because otherwise we'd be answering the same questions every day and it seems senseless. So if, without going back and going through the shows, you guys all said what your crystal ball gazing was. You said how many players you think we'd get rid of, how many players you think we'd buy, what type of player you wanted in, what type of player you wanted out. Then we talked about league positions. We talked about what we might do in the FA Cup. We've done a lot of crystal ball gazing. Well, today's the 11th of January. Now, if you can't recall what you said back in that week, and that was 3 weeks ago, how do you think you feel now on the 11th of January with what we've done? Is all I'm going to say, because I can't remember your answers, but how do you feel today? How does the chat feel today? What's it like to be a Tottenham supporter on the 11th of January 2024?
Amazing. I'll go real quick. I'll answer because I'm a terrible person and I just want to talk. So I think that I said that I think we'll bring in 3 players. I still do think we'll get in a third. But I think that third player was going to be a midfielder. But I think with this new acquisition of Werner, I think that we might actually push Kulu into the midfield when we need him, and we might go for another defender. I also, as far as league position, I still think that we're going to finish very high in the league. I think top 3. I'm not sure where in that top 3 exactly that will end up, but I definitely think top 3 with all of our players returning from injury. We forget James Madison almost makes us a different team by himself. Just being in the squad, we play so much differently. We're so much more on the front foot. We're so much more vertical in our play style instead of horizontal and quick. He's just so fast. It's like he's got the idea of what he's going to do with the ball before it even arrives. He's very good at seeing the field, seeing the the play, seeing where everyone is, and then distributing. I don't know. I think, I mean, back then I don't remember what position I expected us to be in, but I think top 3 now is definitely in the cards. Definitely a Champions League spot, no doubt. I think one more player brought in. I think we'll bring in another defender. I think it'll be somebody who's not exactly flashy and doesn't get people excited, but can do a job when called upon in case shit hits the fan again and we have nobody to play. So that's me kind of today versus where I was in December, but I think it's pretty much the same. I think I don't feel much differently. I thought I was calm then. I thought that everything would get done with what we know from Big Ange. He gets what he wants pretty much, and he gets his transfers done pretty early. It still seems like that trend is continuing. Maybe not as early as he got them at Celtic, but that's fine. It's like Chang was saying, it's the earliest that we've got transfers in years and years and years. So I think things are good. I'm very happy. My crystal ball gazing, I think, went pretty well. I think I was pretty much correct. We just got to get that third player in now that I predicted, but we've got 20 days to do so. So I think it'll happen. I really do. Chang, do you remember how many players in that you predicted?
Sorry, I was on mute. I was going to ask that. Do you remember what you thought back 3 weeks ago? Can you remember?
Okay, so what I remember on my debut show, I said I would gladly just settle for Lloyd Kelly in this January transfer window. Although, if you're asking me if I'm happy right now on the 11th of January, I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be prouder as a Spurs fan. I honestly can't believe that I'm saying this right here and now on a Talk and Ball, being a very staunch and very vocal Levy out supporter. But I mean, again, credit where credit is due. I believe this is the first time in a long while which I can generally say that I'm proud to have Levy as a chairman. Although, don't get me out, he's had plenty of misgivings and shortcomings himself over the years. But right now, on this very day, right here and now, on the January of 11th, 2024, I'm one very, very happy Spurs supporter from over here in the Oriental Far East. And like I said, what a time it is right now to be a Spurs fan, to be a Spurs supporter. If only I could just get Tom Holland's 2 cents. If only we could just right over to you, Tom Holland, over there in wherever it is you are in Hollywood or in the UK, wherever it is right now. I would really love to get the 2 cents of some celebrity fans right now to have their say on what they themselves feel on the state of Tottenham Hotspur and our signings today. But as far as I'm concerned, I couldn't be happier as a Spurs fan. I really couldn't care less if the January transfer window shuts here and now on January 11th. And I cannot wait to see our new acquisitions in action.
What a wonderful answer.
You've got EMF saying, because he was on the show, wasn't he, with you, and Chan, and he says, I said 4 signings, second in the league, and win an FA Cup. I'll stick with that. So Ian is sticking with what he's sticking. However, what I will say to everyone in the chat and to you gentlemen on the panel is we talked crystal gazed about what we thought would be incoming, what we thought would be outgoing. We talked about a lot of different things, crystal ball gazing, but never once did we talk about, Jed Spencer's going to return, Serge Reguilon's going to return. So we never had the thought process of that at all. So bearing in mind that we had 2 players return from their loans unexpectedly, cut short by the teams that were loaned to. We've got 2 players that we brought in. In effect, we've got 3 players that have gone out. To me, that can be beyond your wildest dreams, can't it? Really, because we've never moved like this before. But now we're doing something that we haven't seen before, and because we're seeing something that we haven't seen before, it's exciting us as a fan base.
Absolutely. Maybe a leopard does change its spots. They always say a leopard doesn't change its spots, but things are happening differently. So yeah. And then before we forget, I'll get right back to Ian. But I just wanted to say a verbal hello to Tempest Fugget. Hello. Big up to you too. New to the channel, they say great job. Thank you so much. Cannot tell you how much that means to us. Thanks for being here and for your support. But yeah, second in an FA Cup, says Ian. Let me get that pulled back up here. He said four signings in the league and win the cup. I'll stick with that. Yeah, I wonder who the other two signings would be. Ian, what if you're still watching, what positions do you think we're going to pull players in with these last two signings that you're predicting? And I also wanted to say to Chang, how awesome is it that you wanted Lloyd Kelly, and then we ended up with Drăgușin instead? Like that must be. It's like you wanted a Toyota and you got a Ferrari. You know what I mean? It's awesome.
What can I say? If that is how my transfers predictions and what actually transpires and materializes actually does happen, I mean, this feels like winning the lottery. Right now, I could say that I won the lottery. That's how I'm feeling right now. This is why I never really get my expectations up too high. Why I don't really, try to predict what Levy is going to do for us. But it seems that Levy has definitely backed himself. Levy has definitely come good with his promises to back Big Ange. And if this is a sign of things to come, I really cannot wait for the next transfer window in the summer. Although now that we have pretty much bolstered our defensive options, I think the defensive department is pretty much done for now. I'm not going to crystal gaze too far ahead and say that we will be doing some serious business in the summer window for another permanent marquee forward or striker. If this is a big if, don't get me wrong, if things don't really work out with Timo Werner, but I really do hope that's not the case. I really do hope that Timo Werner does come good if and when Big Ange does decide to pull the trigger and activate the permanent buyout clause for Timo Werner. I would say welcome to the family. We still have Sonny to come back from his Asian Cup, and that link up between Sonny and Timo Werner, that Bundesliga, so shall we say, the Bundesliga link up that we're going to see from Sonny and Werner when Sonny comes back. I cannot wait for that. That is like a dream signing for me as well, because when we signed Son Heung-min from
Leverkusen,
from Germany, Leverkusen, Bayer Leverkusen, for me, I was always hoping that it would be Son Heung-min and Julian Brandt from Bayer Leverkusen that will come together as a pair from Leverkusen, but that didn't materialize, and it was just Son Heung-min. And for a good long while, it was Son Heung-min and Kevin Wimmer, the Australian centre back that we had.
They were best buddies. They were
best buddies. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Kevin Wimmer at centre back for us. Alongside, if you remember correctly, I believe it was Federico Fazio as well, an Argentinian.
That was an awful duo.
That was
shitty. Ugh.
That was an age ago. It was an eternal age ago when you look at the likes of Federico Fazio and Kevin Wimmer, and then we had the likes of his name was that Frenchman, Benjamin Stambouli
in the defensive midfield spot. That was a weird time for Spurs. We had a bunch of shitty players at that time. It
was Benjamin Stambouli and Etienne Capoue.
He went to PSG after that. Benjamin Stambouli went from Spurs to PSG. What the hell?
It was
Can I just say that when Stambouli went to PSG weren't the PSG they are now. Okay.
Yeah,
so when he went to PSG, that's when Lyon were dominating the league for a decade or so. Lyon had been dominating the league. So we got that. Anyway, just want to go back to Manny. Manny's
Manny.
new, and it's look what Manny said. Manny's new to the channel. Welcome here, Manny. It says Tottenham are my favourite team this year. I just like football. I don't own a team. I'm excited by Tottenham now. I really like them. And Manny is getting love from all the chat. They're all welcoming Manny in.
Yeah,
So
Manny even said this. I like this here too. Said I like to read football books and watch football. I know much history for football, and I think Tottenham are a great team. I'm a new fan. And then later they say that Manny said that he is hooked.
Yeah. So welcome on board, Manny. Now I've only just come on now, so I'm going to do a bit of the housekeeping, and I'm going to say that there is the link. It's pinned to the chat, I believe. Is it pinned to the chat?
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's
yes,
pinned to
sir.
the chat if anyone wishes to become a member of the channel. It's all pinned. It's pinned there, so it's up to you. If you want to do it, you can do. Right, Ian Meth, I've got a question for you, and that is: are you still in Spain? Because I thought that Ian was away on holiday. And it'd be interesting to find out whether Ian is still in Spain. So Ian, let me know if you're still around, if you're still in Spain, and let us know you're having a good time, and let us know when you're back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So going back to today, my thought process is telling me, gentlemen, that because we've done our business so early, unbelievably early, we still have 21 days of the month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the 11th is still not over. Yeah. So if you count from the 11th to the 31st, it's 21 days.
Yeah.
So because we've done our business so early, it means that we now have these 3 weeks. We have time to chase and to look at any other business that we need to do. So all the important stuff and plugging the holes, he's done that. Because if we're led to believe that the ITKs are all correct, they said that the thing that Postecoglou wanted was he wanted a centre-back, he wanted a centre-back priority, then it was a left-wing player, and then it was going to be a number 8 or a player could play 6 and 8. So we've done it the other way around. We've got the left winger in, who's not only a left winger but can play across the front 3, which is even more of a bonus and opens up other doors and other avenues. We brought in Drăgușin. It's what I've been told. His name is Drăgușin, and not not Drăgușin. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I've got that part right. I don't often get things right, but I'm glad I got that part.
You get all kinds of stuff right. Shut up, Jose. Don't act like that. You're smart.
Right. So we've got him in, and now we've got 3 weeks. 3 weeks to prepare any outgoings. And looking at the business we've done so far, it's been quite smart. And the reason why I say that is what you look as a company, you've got to look at your net at the end. So you've got to look at your outgoings and your incomings, and then you've got to net it off to see what the values are, whether you're up or down. Now, with Senor Dier leaving today, right? The fee that you get for Dier today, and his wages coming off the books covers the loan fee for Timo Werner.
Bro,
So the loan fee for Timo Werner and the fee for Dier matches itself. Yeah. So that nets off straight away. Then you've got Hugo Lloris. His wages have come off the wage bill. So although there's only 6 months left, that's quite a chunk of money for both him and Dier. Add their salaries together, okay? So there's a year's worth of salary because they're both 6 months, right?
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
So, but we still have to pay Jeff Spence's salary. So, although Jeff Spence is going across and we've got to pay salary, his salary is quite small in comparison to the 2 guys that we've let go. So, when you look at our business like that, and then you look that we've paid for Drăgușin, I'm hearing stories that the Genoa didn't have money, and that's why they wanted. That's why they wanted a player, and they wanted money because they're in dire straits. Now I'm not sure, because I was told that Juventus wanted money as well, because they were just stricken with cash. And when we bought Kulu, and when we bought Rodrigo Bentancur in, we bought Bentancur in and paid 16 point something million pounds, but we spread that over 4 instalments.
Mm-hmm.
With Kulu was obviously a loan to buy, so we loaned him for 18 months, paid the loan fee, and then there was a fee to pay for him after. and we ended up getting him for, I don't know, what was it, 30 million euros or whatever, or 20 odd million pounds. But I'm sure that Tottenham have probably tied in the deal where we pay the Kulu money over 4 years as well.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So I'm not sure what they've done with Drăgușin with that deal, but to me, it's wonderful business that we've done so far. It's not going to harm the books. The one thing that we can say, if we believe everything, although all we got to do is do a freedom of search to Company's House, and you can find out what people's balance sheets and what their books look like. But everyone's saying that Tottenham can make the moves at the moment because we're not going to get done for FFP, where other clubs have to be very, very wary of what they're doing because they're at their limits. So some of the people around us in the upper part of the table can't do them kind of deals because it affects them unless they had outgoings and had loads of money coming in. So for me, I'm just happy it gives us 3 weeks to toy around and to get maybe that midfielder that Ange wants, maybe another defender, maybe this, maybe that. We've got time on our hands to do that, and we've also got time on our hands to prepare some outgoings as well. Whether it's sales or loans, we've got that. The other good news that we were blessed with yesterday and today, and I know Chan's all over Twitter, so Chan knows everything anyway, is the news about a certain Tungai Ndombele.
Oh yeah, I read that just this morning. Yeah.
So he did play it. He has been playing for them lately. He has been starting. He has been playing, and he's been finishing games off. So he's been playing the 90 rather than coming off. Like when he played for Napoli, he would either play the first 60 and then he comes off, or he comes on for the last 30. But he's actually been playing of recent times and been playing the full 90 minutes, not even being substituted. So therefore, that's a headache that we don't have to worry about now till the summer. Like we weren't expecting Reguilón back, although there was a break clause in his deal. We weren't expecting him back, but he's come back. Lens has come back, and we've got Scarlett that's come back. So we've been thrown curveballs. So with our crystal ball gazing that we did, gentlemen, we never thought about players coming back to us to add into our numbers, causing us further headaches, and that's also happened. And the way that we've managed things so far, up until the 11th of January, we can only be proud and happy. And then what I will say is I saw what do you call it? Never a Foul. So the guy's a Man United supporter and he's got a channel called Never a Foul. Quite a good following there. And he did a video today all about Eric Dier and leaving. And he's saying, although that he's a Man United fan, you've got to respect Tottenham and what Tottenham have done. He said, you look at the business that they've done. You look at their midfield now. The defence. They've got who they've got in defence. Now, before my show tonight, I will be looking at I'm going to look at the Man United team, the Tottenham team that played Man United last season, the first game, whether it was home or away last year. I'm going to look at the lineups for Tottenham and Man United and then measure it to the lineups that we've now got. Because back then, I mean, I haven't checked, so I might be wrong here, Chan, but back then, I think the defence would have been, right, Emerson, Dier, Davis, Sanchez, and probably Perisic, because we were playing a 3-5-2, and that was probably defence back then. The defence now, though, if you look at it, you have Porro, you have Drăgușin, you have Romero, you have Van der Ven, you have a Doggy. That means the problem areas that we've had over the years, we've now cleared that problem. Our defence is a brand new unit of 5. Colin, I will leave it for you because it is for you. You're muted.
Bobby K. Sorry about that. I had to go to the door. The mailman was here. Bobby K. Thank you, my man. He says, "Here you go, Colin. Figured I'd put till my lawyer was here to witness my debt payment. First beat I've ever made, but I'm happy to pay. What a window so far with incomings and outgoings. Keep it up, Spurs. Double is on. Come on, you Spurs." Thank you so much, Bobby. Too kind, man. You're too kind. We did it though. We got Drăgușin in. That's really all that matters. But thank you so much for this too. I would have got you back if it went the other way, and I will make sure to repay you and to get you back and with support on your channel as well. Everybody, before we leave the show, I'm going to throw up the link for Bobby's channel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, Bobby, thank you so much, man. We'll get you. We'll get you. Big up. Yeah, absolutely big up, Bobby.
So never a foul. It is Kaz, yeah, it is Kaz. But yeah, he did a video this morning that I saw, or he did. Yeah, he did a video. It's only about 10 minutes long. Never a foul. It's worth watching because he is Man United through and through. But he's saying you can't hate on Tottenham. You've got to admire what Tottenham are doing, and it's like what I'm saying, and what I know is that with FFP, there's a lot of clubs that can't do things, but Tottenham are moving, and he was also actually saying stuff like, they bought Dier for X amount of money and they sold Dier 10 years later, albeit you had to pay salary and watch him for 10 years, but you sold him near enough for the money that you bought him for 10 years ago. So, all around, Tottenham are shaking and moving and doing great deals. And obviously, he's a Man United fan. And who do we play next?
Man United. Yeah. I'll have to check it out. I'll have to check it out for sure.
I have the lineups here for you, Sino Garcia, if you're interested. The last time we played away at Old Trafford.
No. It's not about playing away, Chan. It's last year we would have played home and away. I'm talking about the first one, whether it's home or away. I don't care. It's the first encounter that I'm after.
Oh, okay. So the first time that we played them last season.
First time we played them last season. So it doesn't matter whether we were home or away. I just want to know the first game that we played last season. What was the lineup that we had, and what was their lineup?
So
the lineup that we had.
What was the date? Are you looking at 2022?
Yes, I am. I'm looking at 2022. The date here that given to me is 19th of October.
That's correct.
19th of October.
Yeah, it was
2022. It was away. It was away, and we lost that game by 2-0. Okay,
Man United's lineup? What was Man United's lineup?
Okay, so Manchester United had David De Gea in goal. In defense, they had Rafael Varane and Diogo Dalot as centre backs, and then they had Lisandro Martinez and Luke Shaw for.
Okay, so Lisandro Martinez and Varane would have been the centre backs, and Dalot and the other chap you just mentioned, Luke Shaw. So Luke
Shaw, yep.
Dalot would have been right. Luke Shaw would have been left. Okay, so from that, Chan, right, Lisandro Martinez is injured. Apart from that, they've got a new goalkeeper in Onana, and they've got a defender that replaces Lisandro Martinez. Who did they have in the midfield?
Okay, over here in midfield, it says that they had Bruno Fernandes and Fred, as well as Casemiro. And then I believe they also had two white players in the form of Anthony and Jadon Sancho.
Okay, and who was the forward?
Marcus Rashford is their lone forward that day.
Okay, so let's look at it. Casemiro still at the club. We might be injured, I think, but he's still at the club. Fernandes is still a player in their team. On the wing, Anthony's still a winger. Rashford is still playing, but he plays on the wing. He doesn't play up front because they put Højlund down the middle. So in Fred's place, they've got McTominay or someone like that. So when you look at Manchester United's team from them, right, they've still got the majority of their players. And this is what their supporters are alluding to. They're not changing their team. They haven't bought players to change their team. So we're looking at that lineup. You're looking at least 7 to 8 players that are going to be playing possibly this weekend that were in that lineup. Tell me the Tottenham lineup, Chan.
Okay, so over for Spurs, of course, in goal is good old Hugo. And because it was a Conte system, we had 3 at the back, or rather, should I say 5 at the back. Our 3 central defenders that day were Romero, Dier, and Ben Davies. That's our centre back 3. And then further ahead, we had Matt Doherty. We had Matt Doherty in midfield, as well as Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Bissouma, Perisic, and Bentancur. Okay. As a midfield 5. Yeah. So that's a midfield 5 of Doherty, Højbjerg, Bissouma, Perisic, and Bentancur. And then up front, I'm guessing that this was a 3-5-2 looking at this formation. Up front was Son Heung-min and Harry Kane. So it's Son and Kane up front by themselves.
Yep. So there's 8 players there that will not be playing this weekend. That's the difference. And that's what people are alluding to. So that's the difference. We have 8 players that will probably not be in the starting 11 this weekend against Manchester United, where Manchester United will probably have 7 players that played against us 15 months ago that will be. So we've refreshed our team where Man United haven't. And that's where not only Man United, but other teams are now fretting, saying, oh, Tottenham are refreshing. Tottenham are changing their team because Tottenham haven't got FFP problems and that. And people are very wary of Tottenham. People are now looking at Tottenham. They're looking over their shoulders.
And they should be.
I was going to say that exactly. They should be looking over their shoulders. 100%. Thank you, Chang. 100%. Yeah, Jose, very, very good points about FFP. And that's another thing. I hate sounding like I'm trying to like I'm a Levy lover, but our squad, our team is run very well. I mean, the fact that you're right, that we're not in trouble with FFP, we can go out, we can sign players. That's because of the people on the board and at the top of the club. I don't know. It just kind of flips the narrative that they're all bad at their job. You know what I mean? And we've already talked in length about Paratici and how people thought he was bad at his job, and look at how good all of his signings have been. So yeah, maybe it could be a lot worse. And I always say the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. If we get rid of these guys at the top, who knows what we'll get? Who knows what their motivations will be. For right now, I'm happy if Levy keeps back in Big Ange, if the board keeps back in Big Ange. I think we're in a great spot. I think we're in a really good spot. And for this United match, I'm absolutely not afraid at all. Any fear with you, Chang, for United?
I wouldn't say there's any fear. More like trepidation right now as to what I mentioned very much earlier as to will we see Drăgușin immediately? Will we see Timo Werner immediately? How is Big Ange going to cope now with the absence of Son Heung-min? Our Captain Fantastic? Will Romero be rushed straight back in alongside Mickey van der Ven in centre back? What kind of midfield are we looking at now that Bissouma and Pape Matar are off to the African Cup of Nations?
Kulu has to be in there. He has to.
Yeah,
Kulu has to be in there.
Do you want my team?
Yeah, let's have it.
By all means, please.
If you don't mind. I know you're trying to save stuff for your own show later, but if you want to give us that bit.
Right, I'll tell you that. My team would be Vicario, Porro, Drăgușin, Romero, Van der Ven, Udogie, Bentancur, Kulu, Werner, Richarlison, and Johnson. That's my team.
That's the one you gave me the other day, isn't it?
That's an attacking lineup for you, and that has pure speed and one touch move. That has pure speed. Speed kills defenders.
Absolutely.
We've said this all along.
And Postecoglou's whole thing was don't let the other team rest. Don't give them a chance to rest. Take throw-ins quickly. Take free kicks quickly. Get the ball back into play. Get moving. And
if you play Drăgușin, Romero, and Van der Ven across your back three,
it
means that Udogie and Porro can naturally play the inverted role straight away. Go up, and then you've got Bentancur there as well, and Kulu, and then you've got your front three. That's fantastic. That's pure scared them football. That is.
How tall is Werner? I could look it up. Is he a tall guy? Is he going to be a target for headers?
No, Werner's not tall.
Okay, well that's a bummer. I almost wish.
If you're going to cross balls in, you've got Richarlison for height, right?
Yeah.
If it's going to be corners and free kicks, you've now got Drăgușin, and he's a beast. He's a monster in the air. I think Van der Ven's taller.
I don't know a thing about him.
I think Van der Ven's taller than him, but Van der Ven's stats for headers and for aerial duels, I don't think is as good as Drăgușin. Drăgușin's actually, it's got one of the better aerial duels rates out of in stats in Italy. So yeah, it bodes well. I would like to
I'm going to add something to what you just said here, Senor Garcia. From what I'm seeing here, the stats here, the statistics given here for Radu Drăgușin is that currently, from the last time he played his last league game for Genoa, he actually has the most. He has the most headed duels won, 58 in all competitions over at Genoa. So Radu Drăgușin has the most aerial duels won in Serie A. That is fantastic, if you ask me. And
it sounds like our stats guys were on that. You know
yeah,
what I mean? The
they
statistical.
were all over. Because on top of that, he also has the second most challenges. Second most duels won. He's actually had the second most defensive duels won, whether that's in clearances or in defensive tackles. So that's first. He's first for aerial duels and also second for all defensive duels won. Yep, in duels in general, which is absolutely crazy if you look at the numbers that he was doing over at Genoa. So I mean, if you ask me, he's a shoo-in. He's an absolute shoo-in for starting berth. Although right now that is that's down to Big Ange as to choose who his defensive pairing would be this weekend against United. Again, like I said, what a time it is to be a Spurs fan right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. So if he's going to play, if Drăgușin is going to play and come in and play, I don't know who he replaces. He seems, from what I've seen of him, little tiny bits. I'll have to be totally honest. It's clips and stuff. But he seems more like Romero than he does Van de Ven to me. And so I think if he was going to play, you would have to probably take Romero. If he was going to take one of their spots, I think it would have to be Romero's. I think we need Van de Ven's pace in there. I don't think that Drăgușin is nearly as fast as Van de Ven. I mean, that's a fact. And so Van de Ven's speed is vast, hugely important. But I guess what I was also saying too, and I forgot to finish my point, we've got these guys we're supposedly doing the stats-based model now. With all those stats you gave me with Drăgușin, there must be other two underlying stats that they've looked at and seen and decided he's the guy they want to bring in. I think we could have got to Debo if we wanted him, but I think we wanted Drăgușin. I think this is one of those deals where we got the player we wanted and the player we needed, similar to Vicario in the summer when everyone thought that Raya was the player we needed. So yeah, big up, long may it continue. Scott Munn, Longa, Daniel Levy. As much as I hate to say it, there's another guy in there. Who am I forgetting? Paratici. Paratici. Keep long may it continue. I love this group of guys.
I have some breaking news here. If either of you gentlemen are interested in the details for our fourth round FA Cup tie against Manchester City has been confirmed. Brace yourselves, okay? This could go either way, so brace yourselves for this. Our fourth round FA Cup tie against Manchester City is scheduled for Friday. It's going to be a Friday night tie on January the 26th. Mark this on your calendars, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, at 8 p.m. So it's going to be an 8 p.m. Friday night kickoff on January the 26th for our fourth round FA Cup tie. Mark this on your calendars. So there goes my hope. There goes my hope for it being the marquee game, the last possible game of the FA Cup weekend, the last weekend of January.
Okay, so what that means, Chan, it's the same time and the same kickoff as we had with Burnley. Yeah, 8 o'clock on a Friday.
Exactly.
And all it means is that with the winter break of that week, we play this weekend. We're off the following weekend. Yeah. And then it means that we're playing on the Friday because we've got a week game in the week, the following week. We've got Brentford. So that's possibly why they've done it. And obviously for TV rights.
That does kind of drive everything these days. The almighty dollar. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me. What time does that make the match for you, though, Chang? What time will that be for you? If it's
an 8 p.m. UK kickoff, it's going to be 4 a.m. It's going to be 4 a.m. over here in Southeast Asia. So I guess it could be a very, very interesting build up to it's going to be almost like a make or break weekend for us Asians here. But 4 a.m. Saturday morning is as good as they come. I am really looking forward to that. Over there in the UK, I guess it could be one of those nights, glory nights under the lights at the new stadium. I'm really hoping for the home crowd to really give it large to the away team. I think it remains to be seen whether Pep will Pep put up a strong team. Although at this stage of the competition, I'm expecting them to just go all out, given that they have no upcoming Champions League and league games in the next few days. So yeah, it's going to be one of those games where both teams are going to go just head to head. We're really going to give it our best shot, as what many of us in the chat and also in social media have alluded to, that this is our best bet for silverware and a trophy this season. So again, I cannot wait for this to take place. It's going to be a very big Friday night under the lights. Let's just see what Big Ange puts out that night. But right now, for me, it's one game at a time. We can only play who we have who we have coming up against us. So I will just concentrate on United away this weekend, and from there we'll just build up to that massive, mammoth, momentous weekend against Manchester City on a Friday night.
Let me ask you a quick question. I made this a long time ago. Will City finally score at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? I don't think so. With Big Vic and goal, I think we're good, man.
The interesting thing is, gentlemen, is that we didn't have the defence that we wanted when we played at Manchester City, right? And we were saying, really, we're going up against a team. We were looking forward to playing Manchester City, but we wanted to play Manchester City with our first 11, didn't we? Absolutely. And we didn't have our first 11 because we had injuries. So now, playing them in the cup game, God willing and all things being equal, if our players stay away from injury, then we may not have Heung-min Son. I'm not sure whether we'll have Maddison playing, but our defenders will be back. And the defenders being back means if Haaland is back for Manchester City, Haaland is deceptively quick because he's a tall man and he can cover ground quickly because of his strides. I wouldn't say he's quicker than our defenders, but his stride takes you away from a player. Mm-hmm. Listen, if the blanket's back and fit, Haaland ain't getting a sniff, man. The blanket is covering everything.
Come on, Van de Ven. We need you. We need you back. It's crazy. I wouldn't have thought when the season started that he would be such an important player. But God, but Maddison too. I know I keep saying Maddison, but Maddison is like the heart of our squad when he plays. I don't know. We've been really lucky. That's one cool thing about this season. Is it's so hard for me to tell you who the player of the season is, who the best signing has been, because all of them have been spot on. I feel like after we screwed up the Ndombele and the Gio Lo Celso deals, I think that we've been a lot smarter with our transfers, and we finally have something that's working for us. But I don't think City will score, especially if Van de Ven's back. We know how good Vicario is in goal. I think as long as we've got actual center backs playing back there, I think we'll be in good shape.
Sorry, have I missed this? Sorry, Colin, have I missed it? Did you answer Bobby's question?
No, we did not yet.
Sorry, yeah, because Bobby's got a question. I wasn't too sure.
Yeah, no.
Bobby's got a question there as well.
I would go, sheesh, Gallagher, 35, 40. Is what I think he would be worth. I also haven't seen enough of him at Chelsea. I saw him. I remember him at Palace, and I remember being really impressed with him actually. But at Palace, I feel like he was playing a slightly different role. Since that team, they needed him to be a little more creative. I don't know. Interesting. I would say 35, but I don't think Chelsea would take that.
Honestly, if you're looking at a reasonable price for Conor Gallagher, I can't see Chelsea selling him for anything less than 40 million, because they know as well as we do that if Chelsea were to sell Conor Gallagher to us, they would actually be selling to a direct rival of theirs for top four, not just this season, but for many, many seasons to come. So rather than reinforcing us, and you must remember that good old Pochettino is still with them. So rather be it for them to reinforce a top four rival, I can only see them selling Conor Gallagher to us for a crazy fee. And that should be nothing less.
70 million or something.
Yeah, yes. I honestly, right now, if Conor Gallagher is going to cost that much, it's up to Levy and Big Ange to work it out among themselves whether is Conor Gallagher really worth that much, and is he really worth the fee that Chelsea are expecting us to cough up for him. which is why earlier I was trying to take attention away from Conor Gallagher and maybe focus more attention to the likes of Calvin Phillips on loan, or even Joe Bellingham from Sunderland on a permanent basis. But if Big Ange really fancies Conor Gallagher, if he sees Conor Gallagher as a sort of like last piece in the jigsaw for him in that midfield to really give us that extra depth, the extra, depth in squad for us to seriously challenge, not just for the league, but on all fronts, assuming that we do make it into Europe next season. In Big Ange we trust, and if Daniel Levy is willing to pay up front for Conor Gallagher, then so be it. If that's what it means to give Big Ange his final piece of the puzzle to unlocking our squad's true potential. Not that we don't already have potential in ample amounts in all positions. Looking at the recent acquisitions of Timo Werner and Drăgușin. Yeah, like I said, what a time it is to be a Spurs fan right now, and I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't be happier with our current depth in squad that we have.
Absolutely. I love the way you said that. And you're right. If we want to compete next year, if we get into Europe, if we want to compete, we do need to have multiple starting level quality players at every spot. And so Gallagher will be a good addition. I just really don't see him coming. I just can't see it happening. But we could use another central midfielder. Man, I would have. There's a couple players I would have taken, but that have moved pretty recently. I don't know. I think it really just depends on where you see the players that we currently have playing. Like Chang, do you see Lolo as a defensive midfielder or as a box-to-box midfielder?
Lolo would be my first choice as a box-to-box, although that actually depends now, because if you look at how our midfield will line up, if you have theoretically if everyone back fit and having their equal chance at a starting berth in Big Ange's starting 11, Maddison is definitely in there alongside Pepe Metasa, which leaves the likes of Bentancur and Bissouma, as well as Højbjerg, to work it out amongst themselves who's going to get that final spot beside Pepe Metasa and James Maddison. Currently, I think it's going to be a toss-up between Bentancur and Bissouma, although I would definitely prefer a midfield pairing of Pepe Metasa and Bentancur at the back. I wouldn't put it past Big Ange to deploy Bissouma if and when he feels that he needs more tenacity and more of a little and large combination at the back if they are to protect James Maddison behind him going forward against oppositions that deploy a low block against our defense, our offensive trio of, say, Son Heung-min, Kulusevski, and Richarlison or Timo Werner. So yeah, it is going to be very interesting to see where Bentancur fits into Big Ange's system. Although, again, as what I've said multiple times, in Big Ange we trust, and wherever and whenever he decides to deploy Bentancur, I think it will be interesting to see who lines up beside him or alongside him, or even in front and behind him. So yeah, if the defensive midfield role is what's best suited for Big Ange, for Bentancur, then yeah, that's where I guess we'll see the best of Bentancur to come for us in the rest of the season. And just as I said that, I can feel the jazz lounge music, as I called it, the lounge music, or the jazz lounge music comes on. So let's just get into this party mode. And from what I'm seeing now in the chat, we can expect a formal and official unveiling of Radu Drăgușin on all social media platforms at 4 p.m. So 4 p.m. is the time. Which
Hey,
we're all looking forward
that's
to.
what Jose goes live later, I think. No,
Exactly.
Wait,
So
it's 10 p.m.
so-
that he goes live. It's 4 p.m. for me. Sorry, I forgot that time changes were a thing. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
Sorry
so
about
that's
that.
going to be a very,
Jose,
very, very
you're on
momentous
at 10,
weekend
right?
for us.
Yeah, so yeah, my bad. So it's 4 my time, but 10 your time. Okay, got it.
Shane, you're saying they're going to unveil him tonight at 10 o'clock?
That is correct. It's 8 o'clock. It's going to be 8 o'clock.
UK.
Jose, yeah, UK. 8 o'clock UK. So that's going to be
Hey,
4 a.m.
10 o'clock in the UK to unveil someone is quite late. If it was at
8 o'clock, actually. 8.
I'm saying, but 10 o'clock is late because the only time that you'd unveil someone that late is if it was a deadline day signing. But because it's not a deadline day signing, you can't leave it that late to unveil them. You've got to also remember he's probably trained with Tottenham today because he's done his medical and everything, signed his contract yesterday or whatever it was. Was it yesterday or was he flying today? It was yesterday. He flying in yesterday.
It was yesterday.
So therefore, he's probably trained with the team today. But just the media duties and everything's been done tonight. But he probably already trained with the team today because.
Please God, I hope he did.
You got to be purchased and signed up before midday tomorrow to play on Sunday. So we've met all that criteria, and it also gives him a couple of days training before the game anyway.
Real quick, I just want to say, Talking Beer says he doesn't get the Conor Gallagher love. Am I completely wrong? No, man, he seems kind of average to me. I mean, he's just a player that would be decent, but with the money that they're talking about for him, no way. I would take him if he was cheap, 30 mil. Yeah, bring him in. But anything more than that, I feel like it's a waste, and that you could find a better player overseas or in a different league or even in the Premier League, but just on a different team. I don't know. He just doesn't really impress me that much. He's nice, decent. One of those players that's like pretty decent at all facets of the midfield game, but doesn't have a. To me, there's nothing that he's like a star at, but he's decent at cover, defensive cover. He's decent going forward, but he's not excellent at any of them. And yes, what is Jose eating? Is there enough for everyone?
My daughter's just cooked it for me.
What?
Chicken fried rice.
Wow, what a good kid you've got there, man. You raised her right. You raised her right for sure. I was thinking probably churros, but not churros. You have an actual food.
No,
now.
there's a machine. There's a machine that I bought them for Christmas for children.
That's so cool. That's awesome, man. Merry Christmas. Merry late Christmas to everybody. What a great gift. Yeah, exactly. Chris Bennett Football TV is in the house. What is up, Chris? Evening all celebrating Dier's move with Philadelphia and Strawberry Jam on Toast. Is Philadelphia a band?
No. It's a spread.
Oh, I'm going to have to look that up. I don't know what that is.
Philadelphia spread.
It's like cream cheese?
Yeah, cream cheese spread.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
I'm with you now. Okay, sorry about that. I'm stupid. But we've got it. That actually sounds delicious. For 15 mil...
Yeah.
The hypothetical deal of Højbjerg going for 25, I think it's worth it, and 15 is a good upgrade. Is Sean knew instantly. And I put the background. I put the background in honor of Big Ange we trust. I got the kangaroos in the background for us all. So I saw Bobby K talk about the 15 mil price tag. Is that literally what Chelsea are asking for Conor Gallagher? There's no way. There's absolutely no way they would get rid of him for 15 mil. I know that what you were going to say, Jose. I think I could just read your mind, but like how you're talking about how he's homegrown, doesn't cost him anything. So for FFP purposes, that 15 mil or whatever they get.
No. What I think you're saying is if we get 25 for Højbjerg, and Gallagher costs 40, that's costing us 15 million. I think that's what they're referring to.
I'm with you. Okay. Thank you for that. Sometimes I need you to kind of tie it all together for me.
I think that's what it is. 15 million is the upgrade.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and honestly, that's not a bad deal when you think about it. I would have Conor Gallagher over Højbjerg. Cheng, do you think that's a good? Would you Conor Gallagher or Højbjerg? Who are you sticking with?
I'm sticking with Højbjerg all the way long.
Whoa!
I'm sticking with Højbjerg actually. Listen. As again, this goes back to what I said earlier about Ben Davies, about him being the model professional. That's how I feel about Højbjerg myself. Højbjerg has been able to put in a very decent shift if and when he's being called upon. Although he has been prone to the odd misplaced back pass or a very lapse or that very critical lapse in concentration that has seen us concede every so often. But I mean, honestly, Højbjerg isn't that bad of a player if you look into just how big of a player he was for us, especially during the Jose Mourinho days. He was absolutely massive. He is what Bissouma is for us right now, I would guess, or even Bentancur before we got Bentancur. So yeah, I mean, if Højbjerg decides to stay beyond this January transfer window, I would very much welcome his presence in the squad. I think we can still we still have a lot of options with Højbjerg back in midfield. Of course, back to Conor Gallagher, like that's a completely different player there altogether.
Not as much of a holding player, yeah.
Yeah, not much of a holding player. Yeah, that's not much of a holding player there. He's more effective going forward. I can see him doing what maybe Lo Celso does. Although then again, if you look back at our midfield roster, we still have Lo Celso on our books, despite him picking up yet another injury for the umpteenth time. I feel this season, I've really lost count how many times he's picked up injury and come back, and then picked up another injury and then come back again, and then now this latest thing with his hamstring. If it is indeed a hamstring, that is really doing my nuts in. So I really don't know what to say of Lo Celso, but
oh, sorry. Go ahead. My bad. I cut you off really bad.
Sorry. No. Yeah. No, I'm just going to finish off here saying that if Big Ange really does fancy Conor Gallagher, and if Daniel Levy is really going to stump out the money for him, then who am I to say if Conor Gallagher is a good fit for the squad or not? Back to you, gentlemen.
Boom. I love it. I was just going to say, well, first of all, Chris Man of Football, he says we need. How do you pronounce that name? Can anyone help me?
Cooper
Miners in midfield. Been saying it for months. I'm gonna have to check him out, Chris. I've never seen the man, but I will absolutely check it out. What about a Phillips loan? But then Bobby K quickly responded with that he's already gone on loan. I had no idea, so let me look that up.
He hasn't gone on loan yet, I don't think.
Calvin Phillips.
If he has, I missed it.
Newcastle make Calvin Phillips loan their top priority and set up to ramp up interest in out of favor Man City midfielder. But I don't think it's happened yet. But yeah, the Magpies are yet to initiate formal talks with Manchester City, but they have made him the club's priority target in the upcoming January transfer window. Weird, they haven't made any moves if he's their only target or their main target. But hopefully, yeah, they probably will.
Yeah, no, but the thing is with Newcastle again, FFP.
Yeah.
All these clubs around us, or the supposed challengers, your Newcastles, your Chelseas, your Man City, even Man City. There's a load of them, and these teams are all fearful of FFP at the moment. We don't fall in that category. Now, I will say, I remember people talking about Levy and Levy saying, yeah, but we've got FFP, and people laughed at Levy. Well, looking at the climate that we are at the moment, Levy probably was right talking about the FFP coming up and how they've changed the rules, and they've tightened up and changed the rules, and it would affect people further down the line. And he said this a couple of years ago. So where people have gone out splashing, spending and going absolutely mad, well, now you can see the fruits of that, whereby teams are worried now about FFP. Apparently, I read somewhere that a panel are looking into Everton and Nottingham Forest, and they will be delivering their thoughts on their investigation on them two clubs at the start of next week. So
Jesus, Everton does not need any more trouble. Good God, they're going to be relegated.
I'm not saying they will. So please, before anyone misconstrues what I'm saying,
there's an investigation or something.
There is an investigation, and the findings will be said. But they reckon that if Everton are found guilty of FFP,
If
they're found guilty of FFP, it's going to be a further points deduction to what they've already got, because they were found for wrongdoing, but this is now FFP. They're looking into something totally different, so it's a different ruling, and it'd be a different set of points. And obviously, if Forest get found guilty, then they're going to face a point deduction.
points. Wow.
But it won't be just them two. They're going to look at everybody. It just so happens that they're the clubs that are being looked at the moment. I think I would have thought that if you're asked to surrender your books, you've got to surrender your books so you can be audited and your books can be looked at, and then they'll make a decision from there. So
it's weird that I'm actually excited for them to ask for ours. I'm like, yeah, here you go. Take a look.
Okay, Colin, hold that thought. Sorry, Jay reacts. No, he hasn't. I don't think so. I've not met you. Seen
Me
you
neither.
before,
Yeah,
Jay
that's what I was
reacts.
going to say. Jay, big up. Yeah.
He's saying that Ash Phillips hasn't gone on loan.
Actually,
He's saying Ash Phillips is the one that's gone on loan, not the other one.
yeah.
Bobby K trying to cook at the same time. Since Jose made me hungry, it's his fault. And damn it, Jose, quit distracting Bobby. Right. You said, Colin, you just said, go ahead and look at our books.
Yeah.
Are you confident, Colin?
Very confident. Maybe I shouldn't be. I know that we've got Paratici here, and so who knows what his hands have been dipped into. But
And Joe Lewis. I mean, the list could go on if you want me to.
no, you're right. You're right.
I'm not saying there's nothing illegal going on. I'm not going to say that for 1 minute, but I wouldn't be too. Yeah. Go and check our books.
Maybe you're right. Check them if you have to, but if not, just trust us. They're fine. Yeah.
Go on, John.
They're fine.
I have something to say on this. Actually, if anyone remembers the whole debacle surrounding Jermaine Defoe and his transfer from West Ham, there was some talk that there would be some investigations going into that transfer from way back when we got Defoe from West Ham. But it seems that those ramblings have since moved on, and we've not heard anything on that for the past couple of months. I'm not sure if they are going to look into that again, if they're going to revisit that case.
Dead. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's dead or if they've just stopped for a while.
I honestly, right now, it's out of our hands. The FFP people or whoever it is was doing the auditing into our financial dealings. They're the ones who have to go into. They're the ones who are going to have to go into all that. The uncovering of our financial dealings with that transfer. But what I'm surprised is why has it taken it this long? Why is it taken this long to look at the transfer that happened during Harry Redknapp's days, or even I believe it was not even Harry Redknapp. Sorry, it's Martin Yole. It's as far back as Martin Yole when we got Defoe from West Ham. So it's. I mean, it's. This just
What you get,
my...
when you're doing an investigation in that, you bring financial forensic experts that will go through all the paperwork with a fine-tooth comb, every bit of paperwork that would have been associated to that deal and anything else that was going on in the club at that time. So it's not just as easy as saying, you come to our offices and within 24 hours, we're going to find what we've got. And then we're gonna... No, it doesn't work like that. They're going to have to look. And once they're satisfied they've seen everything they need to see, then they go and prepare a report. Their report would then have to be rubber stamped or signed off by somebody higher up than the investigators to say, these are our findings. Then they release the report. These are our findings. And then I'm suppose that you're going to get, 28 days to respond to whatever the report says. You might get sight of the report before it comes public as well. So, these things are always a waiting game. Although, saying that, you would have thought that something that happened that many years ago, if it's only involving one deal, then it may not take long. But if they start looking at other things that are happening around that time at the club, it could take a bit longer. Yeah.
So I guess what you're saying is it's not done. Just because we haven't heard about it in a while doesn't really mean anything. It's probably still ongoing.
Yeah.
Well,
until they tell the club. I mean, if they turn around and said they're looking into it, then you've got to have an outcome to it. You can't say someone. You can't say someone to someone or to anybody. You can't say, we're looking into you. Okay, you're looking into me, but then you've got to go back and say to that person, okay, we found nothing. We're not taking it no further, or these are our findings. So we're just waiting for that part now, aren't we? For an answer to come back to the club.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm kind of scared about it now. Thanks. It was in a good mood. Let's go back to thinking about happy stuff.
Like, can I just say, I went to. Do any of you remember South Stand View?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Remember South Stand View.
Who's South Stand View?
That's Soji, right?
No.
South Stand View.
No.
No, it's one of Ash's friends.
Hang on.
There you go. It's Alok. Alok, who's the first person that Ash did. He's currently on at the moment, and his guest is 1MUFC.
Whoa.
Who is Ash's guest tomorrow?
That's incredible. What are the chances?
So whilst we've been on the show, because I'm on the iMac at the moment, and I've got my laptop in front of me. I've gone into the laptop. I've gone into the shows. I've said hello from us, and said hello to Alok and that, and said to One Man UFC that we look forward to having him on our channels tomorrow.
It's awesome. You are the best, my man. Thank you. Wonderful. That's going to be a big show, everybody. We're closing out tonight. We're getting close to the end of tonight, but just want to let you know, I'll throw this up here. Let me get Bobby's comment off just for a second. Sorry, Bobby. And my banner off. Sorry, everyone. But yes, so we've got tomorrow White Chat Lane with Ash and 1MUFC. He's a big time streamer for United. How many subs does he have? Was it like 50,000?
Over 75,000 subs.
Over 75,000 subs. So what we're going to need is everybody here. For one, subscribe, hit the bell. You'll always know when we're going on that way. So that's important. But Ash is going to need all of our help. If this guy brings a fraction of his fan base to the show, then we're going to be outnumbered hard. So we're all going to need to be here for Ash tomorrow, helping to support. And, Ash loves a bit of banter, so I'm sure she's going to be good. She can handle herself just fine. But we all need to be there for support and just to watch the show. We know those are always fun shows. And at the end of it, you feel like you can speak Hindi. You never knew you could, but you understand. It's really fun. You pick up stuff. It's always a great show. I'm really excited. Ash does a wonderful job with those. But guys, I have to work in 18 minutes, so we should probably wrap up.
So Ash's show is tomorrow at 2 p.m., which is 7:30, I believe, Indian sometime. And Colin, for you, it's
6 hours before
me, so you'll be 6 in the morning.
Yeah, perfect.
And tonight, for everybody, I'm going to do a show tonight at 10 p.m. GMT called The Mop Up. So, yeah, I'll be doing that tonight, 10 p.m. The Mop Up. So I'll be back in about 4 hours' time.
The mop up should be a wonderful show. So everybody, please be on the lookout for that.
Well, I will most definitely be tuning in. I will definitely most definitely be tuning in because when you're doing your 10 p.m. show, it'll already be 6 a.m. here in Malaysia, and I'll already be on my way halfway to work anyway. So yeah, I would definitely be tuning in from over here in Asia. On that, you can count on me.
Okay, that's fantastic. So tonight, in 4 hours' time, I'll be doing a mop-up show. Tomorrow, you have Ash at 2 p.m. GMT, and then we have our show at 4 p.m. where predictions start again. The break's over. We're back to predictions.
Everybody's favorite part, and we'll see. I can promise you guys, anyone who wants on, I've seen Jose's predictions. He does not cheat. He's just really good. Bobby K saying, "Have a great day, everyone." Thank you, Bobby K. And thank you for the super chat, man. I feel kind of bad about it. But anyway,
because we're finishing the show, bring it back up so it's there. Absolutely. So here you go. So you've got. Thank you very much to Bobby K for the chat. It was a bet that he had with Colin. Either way, if Colin had lost this bet, we would have been poorer in the sense of centre back, because this was all balanced on having a centre back. Bobby said that he didn't think we'd get a centre back in by a certain date, and it happened that we ended up getting Dragson over the line. So Bobby has quite graciously said he's quite happy to part with the money because Tottenham are on a win because they got the 7.5 in. So yeah, man of his words. Bobby, thank you very much for the super chat.
You're a great dude, Bobby. And thank you for everyone that's tuned in. Jay Reacts. We had plenty of people. I just want to get some names. Jay Reacts. I haven't seen you in here before. I think you came from Jacob's channel. Thank you very much. Rakesh is here, but Rakesh is here a lot. We had Manny. Big up Manny. thank you so much for being here. And I thought there was at least one more name that I hadn't seen. 1 second, just further up here. Way further up, apparently. Well, first of all, we had Tempest Fugget here. Thank you for being here, Tempest. And then here's the last one. It was Kokila is how we think that we pronounce this. That was what Chang and I got out of it. But Kokila, thank you so much for tuning in as well. Everybody that's tuned in, thanks. I hope everyone hits the like, hits the subscribe if you like the content, and there'll be more soon. So hit that notification bell. We're doing lots of shows to make sure that all of the people in all the time zones get some talking ball action in their lives, especially as we're monetized. People are becoming members. We want to make sure that everyone has content and is getting, I don't want to say taken care of. That sounds weird, but that we're there for them. We're there for you guys since you're here for us. Multiple shows, different times. Please hit the bell and you will then be notified of exactly when those are. But the big one is Ash tomorrow at 2 p.m. UK time. 2 p.m. UK time, guys. It's going to be a big deal. Her guest has over 75,000 subscribers. 2
p.m. GMT.
Yep.
6 CT and 17:30 IST.
There you go. You heard it there, and it is on the thumbnail too on the page. So everybody, please tune in tomorrow. We'll need you, and we appreciate you. And don't forget.
And to Chan for coming on. Thank you very much, Chan.
Yeah. Chang, you're the man. We'll have you anytime you're free. We'd love to have you. You're the best, Chang. You're an awesome.
I am so honored to always be back. I honestly couldn't have predicted that my YouTube debut on United States of America could have led to this. This has been an absolute dream come true for me. And if anytime any of you guys are willing to have me on, whether it's 12 midnight, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., even as early as 6 a.m.,
you need to get some sleep, buddy.
I will. I hope. I really do hope I'm going to get some sleep afterwards. But how can I get any sleep when I'm just so looking forward to the unveiling, the official this one right here, right. I have my face right in his butt right now.
Sorry about that. My fault.
No, it's okay. It's fault. No. Not. It's not. Absolutely not.
Do you know why he's unveiling this at 8 o'clock?
What?
Because he's currently having dinner with this man.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. There we go.
Wow.
I love it.
And this man, they're all eating dinner together tonight.
They should. And they probably got to get up and sing. I don't know if that's still a thing, but hopefully they have to sing still. I liked that was part of the initiation process before. So,
Tottenham now, all you got to do is learn to cook.
There you go.
Parrot teachers rubbed off everyone. The initiation is, can you cook?
Wow, that actually brings back to mind something that Son Heung-min did the moment he came into Spurs. If anyone remembers, there was this clip during the rounds. It was an official Spurs clip as well, whereby Son Heung-min brought in a Korean chef for all the staff, all the players, all the management when he first joined, and he had this whole spread. He had this whole culinary spread brought in from Korea by a Korean chef for all the players to have a taste of home from Korea. And then later on, I believe it was the previous season, Conte's first full season, that is, when they went to Korea, and he was just bringing players to all these different restaurants, all these different diners, all these barbecue places in Korea. That was just such a class thing to do from our club captain. And yeah, it will be really interesting to see if some of these players actually bring a bit of their culture, a bit of taste, a bit of the culinary taste back from home for our players to sample. If and when they do get the chance to do this, that would be such a class act from any of them if they really do get the chance to do this. But yeah, what a time it is to be a Spurs fan. What a time to be alive to be a Spurs fan. And I really cannot wait for the Drăgușin's unveiling. I cannot wait for Jose's mop-up show later at 10 p.m. Really looking forward to that when I'm on my way to work. And again, for Ash's show tomorrow. Really can't look forward to that as well. On top of that, we have a very momentous away game at Old Trafford. Wow, what a time! What a time to be alive. Back to you, fine gentlemen.
Hey, I just wanted to say big up to Lou. Lou's Chill Music. What an awesome name. What an awesome. Yeah, I got to check out your Chill Music, Lou. But thanks for being here. Unfortunately, you caught us right at the end of this show. But good news, there's another show in just about 4 hours. So if you'd like to tune into that, please do. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. You know how that goes, Lou. You've been around the block, I could tell. So, Lou, thank you for your support. Thanks for being here. Welcome. Hope to see more of you. And, yeah, Jose's got a show coming up. So please tune into that. And guys, I think that's a perfect send off. Again, let's all be here for Jose later and Ash tomorrow, and big things coming for Talking Ball. We're growing, and it's because of you guys. We're a big family together. Earlier, Chang referred to it as a fraternity. I like that, the Talking Ball fraternity. And so everybody's invited. If you know, and glad to have you guys on the team.
I'm still having it as La Familia.
La Familia. Oh, we can say La Familia. Come on, everybody, enjoy. There's plenty of room.
It's rubbed off on Sean because Sean's saying Familia now as well. So
there you go. It's La Familia.
Talking beer says Familia all the time as well. So it's rubbing off.
There you go. La Familia. Everybody feel free to join. There's plenty of room on the boat, guys. But again, thank you all so much. Chang, any last words before we hop on?
Manny, thank you very much as well, mate.
Manny, thank you. Yeah, big up. Hope we see you more. It's been a pleasure.
Esta grande familia, this big family.
Big family. Yes. Okay, well, any last words before we go, Chang?
Come on, you Spurs!
Yes, absolutely. Love it. And then I would like to say same. Come on, you Spurs, and Ange we trust. I'm trying to give Jose a chance to finish his bite. He can't talk yet, but I can.
I can. But you've stolen my lines already in Ange we trust. You've stolen my line already. I've said it from day one, and you know.
Yeah, and like you always say, we got to trust him all the time. We can't pick and choose when we trust him. So everybody get behind the manager. Good things will happen. I really feel it in my heart. So thanks for being here, everyone. Big love. Hope you all have a great day. Hope everybody's happy, healthy, safe, doing the things you love. And see you all soon. I'll play us out with everybody's favorite song, and we're going to play it until he's back. Bye, everyone. My team has got James Maddison. James Maddison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Maddison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe. Whoa.